I'm Harry Mays, and the Eagles are NFC East champions, but we've now reached the point where Jake Elliott is a better golfer than he is a kicker, and that could be a problem.
And I'm Louis DiBiase. I think the Philadelphia Eagles showed, even against a bad team today, that this offense is playing well enough where I believe they can win a Super Bowl again.
I'm Jason Martinez. Saquon Barkley. Oh, my. Beautiful.
Fly, Eagles, fly. It's the Eagles Squad. Everything Philadelphia Eagles every week. Covering all the big hits and game-changing plays from the city of brotherly love. The way only the Locked On Podcast Network can. Get ready and squad up. It's the Eagles Squad show starting now.
That's right. It's the Eagles Squad shows. They get the victory and they wrap up the division. Today's episode brought to you by FanDuel. If you want to be right in the middle of the action this season, visit FanDuel.com and place your NFL live bets all season long. Well, the division's in the bag, as they like to say, and I'm going to go right to Louis for some numbers on back-to-back division champions because doesn't happen often in the NFC East.
It does not. This is the first time since 2004 any team in the NFC East has repeated as division champions. Of course, that was the Philadelphia Eagles, and this is the 8th time in the last 9 seasons the Eagles have made the playoffs. They have never done that either in franchise history. So this has been a really up and down year, but to see this team kind of fight through that 3-game losing streak, and it's 2 bad teams they've played 2 weeks in a row, but I feel like this shows that they've learned from their mistakes, their history of collapsing. And I don't know. I think the way the offense played today, I'm believing this team maybe aren't favorites to win a Super Bowl, but I still think they can do it.
They may be on the trajectory. Harry, do you agree with that? That they still could be on that trajectory?
Well, they could. I mean, I need to see a heck of a lot more because over the last 2 weeks, they've beaten up 2 of the worst defenses you'll ever see in the NFL. I mean, the Raiders aren't even an NFL team at this point, and Washington has been just beset with so many injuries, especially on that side of the ball, that it's really kind of hard to gauge, how good this Eagles offense is playing right now. Obviously, it's nice to see them move the ball up and down the field and score points and everything, but I kind of look at the opponent and say, let's hold on. Let's hold on a little bit.
Sir.
Well, they didn't really get the offense going right away. I mean, they only had 7 first-half points. It was a little nerve-wracking at halftime, wasn't it?
Yeah, but I would argue that they were moving the ball at will. The problem was, Jalen Hurts misses that throw on 3rd down to A.J. Brown. If he hits there, it's probably at that point you have 14 points. It was more about, to me, like special teams and the offense making mistakes. But from a production standpoint, like this is 3 weeks in a row now where they have found a way to move the football consistently. And so they need to stop shooting themselves in the foot. That's been a problem all year, including today. But I'm encouraged just because they're not having those halves anymore where they just cannot move the football throwing or running. So that to me is a huge step in the right direction, even if it's been against 2 bad defenses.
How, when you look at it, like your biggest takeaway from today, when you see, it's another bad team, but you can't pick who you play and when you play them because we probably would have spread these teams out a little bit more throughout the beginning of this season. But you get 17 of these, and look, you got to win the ones you got scheduled, and they did take care of business. And maybe in some way, this is maybe even better for them mentally the last 2 weeks to have weak opponents. And you go to Buffalo next, and you get the Commanders again, which likely won't mean a damn thing. It'll just be a total gong show.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that week 18 battle. I'll tell you what, man.
Yeah,
that's gonna be fun. I feel bad for the people that have to pay for the tickets to go back. That's a preseason game.
Yeah, the NFL could play 6 games or 60. The last game of the year will be just as intriguing. Not at all.
I'm a little worried about the Nakobe Dean injury. He's got a hamstring, and that can be problematic. We all know, soft tissue injuries depends on how severe it is. They probably shut him down, I would imagine, for the rest of the season and just get him ready for the playoffs would be my guess. But, that's something to sort of keep your eye on. It was nice. I guess you're saying one takeaway. I would say the fact that you saw Saquon Barkley just run the ball so effectively and that one touchdown, the angry run, that'll get on that NFL Network's morning show for angry runs because he carried about 3 people with him.
Looked like LeGarrette Blount out there. For
it really
second.
did.
Like, is that Jay Ajayi, LeGarrette? I mean, geez, what a run!
It really did. He broke so many tackles and carried guys with him. He was determined to get in there. So that was pretty cool. I'll say Saquon Barkley, his game today. And Jordan Davis was an absolute he wrecked the game in there by himself. It's really amazing to see how great he is playing without Jalen Carter, which is really impressive.
This really is like Brandon Graham, Earl Thomas all over again, where even me this offseason, I said, if I could undo one thing Howie Roseman did in a draft over the last 5 years, it might be taking Kyle Hamilton over Jordan Davis. And he has taken every step to prove that wrong. And he's been dominant. Thank God Howie Roseman picked up that 5th-year option. If not, he'd be an unrestricted free agent this year, and he would get a huge deal from the Eagles or somebody. So that was a big-time decision to bank on him, banking on himself this year, and it's really panned out.
Lost the 25 pound. Remember, we talked about that at length before the season started, to see what kind of a year he was going to have.
And look, it's December 20th, and he's still playing at this level. That's huge.
Well, that's the thing, because we talked about his snap count wasn't high enough. I remember before the season, that was a big element of the conversation. And we weren't even talking about him in regards with Jalen Carter out. With Jalen Carter out, that's the amazing thing, that he's getting so much attention, and he's still producing.
Well, I remember we all had a show, like it was right around the Eagles Autism Challenge, and everybody was astonished by how in shape that he looked. But we all kept saying, right now, and normally he's great in the first half of seasons, but what's he going to do the second half of the year come playoff time?
He's gotten better.
He's gotten better, and so that's massive. And like Harry said, Jalen Carter isn't even in yet. Like this defense, obviously the offense has been so encouraging to see, but the way they continue to dominate, that's what you should hold on to if you hope this team can compete for a Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's the thing that gives me the biggest hope, is that Jalen Carter's not even playing right now.
Right.
And that when he does come back, there's not going to be a lot of wear and tear on him when he comes back. Yeah, he's coming back from the dual shoulder thing, the surgery, but he should come back fresh as can be. And that's why I agree with you, Harry, too, about Nakobe Dean. Shut him down. You don't want to be messing with a hamstring, because it's just either give it the proper time to get it right, or it just nags you nonstop.
Yeah.
So shut him down. Let's see him week 1 of the playoffs and go from there. Because we know he can come in after not playing and dominate. He did it earlier this year.
And it's not like you don't have a pretty good backup at Jihad Campbell, who was the Rookie of the Year favorite before Nakobe Dean came in. So that's the one position. Obviously, Nakobe's been great this year, but if they could afford an injury, it might be at inside linebacker, at least for right now. So hopefully that's not a serious injury, but I'm with you. I would not play him until the first round.
Are you guys stunned? Brandon Graham gets another sack today.
Yeah.
Maybe he should have been a defensive tackle his whole life. I mean, all 3 sacks have come from the inside this year.
I know.
Yeah.
And he was such a good edge rusher for years.
Hey, that's where he got the sack on Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. So
yeah, exactly.
I think especially at this age, he just does better against guards, because I don't think he has the explosiveness anymore to get around the edge. Like, he doesn't have the bend anymore, right?
Yeah.
But he's surprised he's got the power?
He's got a bull rush, though.
He does.
Yeah.
But he's so technically savvy as well. I think Fangio's onto something with this.
It was probably by accident, out of necessity.
Yeah.
You just kind of
without Carter in there. Yeah. But his bull rush, that last week he got the 2 sacks, right? And then one of them was on a bull where he just took the offensive guard and just lifted him off the ground. It was like a blocking sled.
Yeah.
Right.
How you get a guy to not have any leverage or grip with his feet?
Get him off his
lift
feet.
Him up.
Yeah, exactly.
And he's been I'm just stunned watching. I mean, he's played so much football, 37 years old, is retired. I always say it. When you think about retirement, you're retired.
Right.
But somehow he's been able to wind it and just come back and be an absolute bull. This is bananas to me. But I think we got to give credit to Fangio in that regard as well.
Yeah, Cooper DeJean played a heck of a game today too. Very physical at the corner position. I thought he got away with it a little bit, but they were letting him play. Obviously, I think the referees were just like, "Let's get this thing over with." I don't want to be calling too many penalties. But man, he was a really tough guard today.
So was Quinyon Mitchell. You just watch all these defensive players, and you're like, how are they going to pay everybody on this roster? I mean, everybody is panning out so far on that side of the ball. I mean, Adoree Jackson took a step back today, allowed that big Terry McLaurin deep ball.
Terry McLaurin, the 40-yarder.
Yeah, I think that was the third quarter. But outside of that, I mean, even Adoree Jackson's been great over this past month. I mean, that unit is as complete as I've ever seen in my lifetime.
You may have to use one of those guys to find a way to fix something else, because you can only allocate so much money to one of the rooms, if you will, on a football team.
I mean, eventually it's Jordan Davis, Jalen Phillips would do a contract, and Kobe Dean. Those three guys.
And then the year after, Moro Ijoma is a free agent. Nolan Smith is going to need a new deal. Jalen Carter. I mean, some of these guys are not going to get paid.
Right.
Yeah. And then on the offensive side of the ball, how about Dallas Goedert getting his 10th touchdown?
Right.
He's a free agent this year.
Yeah.
This guy had to take a pay cut, a $4 million pay cut this offseason. Thank God he didn't say, get me out of Philadelphia at this point, but that's disrespectful for what I've done for this organization because he's been massive for them. I mean, that touchdown changed the tide of this game.
He bet on himself, and that touchdown, I know Olsen was giving all the credit to Hurts. I gave it to Goddard. That was an incredible. He timed the jump perfectly, and it was at the apex of his jump, caught the ball. It was a good throw, but it was a better catch.
It was one of the most accurate non-spiral throws I've ever seen. I mean, it was right on the money, but that was a Peyton Manning 2015 kind of wobbler.
It was a wobbler.
That thing was quacking on the way in.
Yeah.
But you're right. He goes up. The coverage was good.
Mm-hmm.
You going? When it left his hand, I'm going, oh no, this isn't going to be complete. And somehow he comes down with it. And 10 touchdowns. That ties an Eagles tight end record for a season.
Yep.
Yeah.
Is that with Ertz, I assume?
Retzlaff.
Wow.
Retzlaff. Wow. Back to the 60s.
Yeah. Ertz never had 10.
Wow.
Yeah,
and that was right after they had the Dotson touchdown called back because of the Fred Johnson hold.
Well, they had 2 penalties in the Reds. That was huge on 3rd and goal.
The
tush
in a
close
false
game.
Start. Yeah.
By the way, the tush push, RIP, that's completely dead at this point.
Not working anymore.
Agreed.
They got to stop using that and find a different way to be good in short yardage situations. It almost helped them, though. The penalties kind of opened things up because their passing game in the red zone has been the most consistent part of the offense this year. So that was in such a huge spot, and I think it was a great throw and catch. And I really thought that was kind of the moment maybe things were going to unravel again, but they proved me wrong. So that was a huge play.
You look at Goddard, and I mean, you got to be thinking we got to find a way to get him to come back again on a.
How do you?
I just don't see it. I think he's pricing himself out. I mean, because like you said, there's only so many guys you can pay, and you got to be disciplined. Are you going to give as good as he's been? He's on the other side of 30 next year.
Yeah, he has
give
that
him
injury
a huge
issues.
contract, and he has injury issues.
Yep.
I don't see it.
Yeah, I think he's probably gone.
The thing is, you go, well. What do you give a hometown discount? These guys only have a very small window of earning.
Pay cut.
He did it this year.
Yeah, I would,
because he's got 2 Super Bowls too. So it's not like he's chasing a ring and it'll give a discount.
No. And he's been here for 8 years already.
Yeah,
so Goddard's building up a quietly good legacy. Obviously, he's following the greatest tight end in franchise history, so that's part of it. And he's been with so many other weapons, his numbers just aren't there with Ertz. But quietly, I mean, his time in Philadelphia has been pretty unbelievable.
I mean, think about the tight ends that we've gone through: Selleck, Ertz, and
him. Yeah, what a run! I mean,
the only thing that
replicates it or tops it is the luck they've had or the success at at tackle. Yeah. I mean, tight end
Runyon.
Yeah, they've had some harmony at those 2 spots pretty much my entire lifetime watching this football team.
Yeah, and it's such an important spot.
Huge.
While today felt a little nerve-wracking in the beginning, in the end, it didn't turn out to be the case. Especially when Mariota goes out of the game.
Yeah, well,
I mean, what are they doing?
You get down to a 3rd-string quarterback. It was like when the Niners came in the playoff game. Wasn't he on that team?
It was Josh Johnson.
Yeah,
the Donovan Sue took him out 2 plays later, so Brock Purdy had to come back in.
Yeah, he is hideous.
18 years. He is the epitome of an NFL journeyman.
Unbelievable.
Best job, I think, in the world, Josh Johnson. He doesn't have to do anything.
Probably loaded with cash and one of the only quarterbacks that's been in the league that long that can still walk.
And hasn't played enough to get hit enough to be,
It's the best job in the world, I think.
Yeah.
He's worn a red non-contact jersey most of his life.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Scout team quarterback in the practice,
Hey, that's a good living if you can get it, man.
It is.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Much respect.
Let's talk about Saquon further because he ends up with a real big day. 21 carries, 132. We saw the angry run, but he looks like more fresh all of a sudden. I don't know if that's
he ought to.
Yeah, I mean he's been running right into a wall for so much of this season.
1 yard losses don't take a whole lot out of you.
Yeah, but I think it's just when he gets to that second level. It looks so different, and he was in that second level today.
Well, yeah, because light and the fanny cornerbacks don't want to come up and stick and then try to tackle him. I mean, you can't take him down unless you go at his legs, and
they're like pistons, is
right.
legs.
They're tree trunks.
Yeah,
is what they are. But
Yeah,
he
I
had a great day today.
What's helped open things up the last 2 weeks, obviously, like the under center offense makes it easier for him to run the football. But today, everyone says the run game helps open things up for the passing game for this team, right? But I think the opposite happened today, where they used a lot of empty set in the shotgun because of Jalen Hurts' success in the quick passing game, because he was able to run the football from the shotgun. That opened things up for Saquon. There were a couple times where multiple Commander defenders hesitated to close in on Saquon because Jalen could have pulled. So that's why we've been harping on Jalen needs to run the football more all season. Because
the threat
of that makes it allows you to play pretty much like 12-on-10 football when you're running the ball. And they haven't been able to run the ball all year in the shotgun because I think the main reason, the blocking hasn't been great, and it wasn't still today on 1st and 10. They need to stop running the ball at the middle on 1st and 10. Like, please stop doing that.
Yeah.
But Jalen being able to run the football decisively in the first half, I think really helped Saquon get things going in the second half. So the under center identity is what they need to lean into, but keep using empty set and shotgun. Jalen is just so comfortable in that formation.
Saquon coming into this game has about 100 fewer touches than last year.
Are you at the same time?
Yeah. He had 345 carries last season through 16 games. This year, through 14, it's coming into this week, 240.
Wow. Surpassed 1,000 yards, by the way, today as well.
Yeah,
that's incredible, because that just keeps him fresh for the right time, as fresh as he can be after all that workload last year. The Eagles, again, today, though, were very balanced on first down. 11 passes and 12 rushes. Last week, I think it was 12 and 12, if I recall.
Yeah.
So they haven't been predictable in that regard.
The rushes don't work, though. I mean, that's the one thing. I really do think on 1st and 10, they need to scrap the shotgun run right up the middle. I mean, the run game obviously was much better today, but that was something still that they've had issues with, especially early in the game. They had to play from some 2nd and 3rd and longs. So I would adjust that. But yeah, I mean, that's a great point. The lack of being predictable has, again, you got to put, like Harry said, you got to put everything with a grain of salt because of who you're playing. If you make those kind of mistakes against the Bills or a team in the playoffs, it's going to come back to bite you. But I really do think their ability to succeed with multiple different formations in the shotgun and under center is starting to allow them to move the football more consistently.
It's going to be interesting to see how they take this Buffalo game, like how meaningful,
how they approach it.
Like how they approach it. I'm really curious to see that. I mean, Louis, you're going to be at the game. It's going to be up in your hood.
Yeah.
Do you think the Eagles start resting some key personnel even for that game
it's
now that they've clinched the division?
Yeah, it's weird because, I mean, you still have a shot at the 2 seed. I think a lot of it has to do with what happens tonight. I mean, as we're recording, we got Bears-Packers going on.
Right.
If Chicago wins, you're probably not catching them at that point for the 2 seed. But if Green Bay wins, you have a chance.
You have the tiebreaker over Green Bay.
Yeah. How much do you care about the 2 seed versus the 3? I mean, I think it could be a big deal. Last year, you're the 2 seed, and the playoffs ran through the link. Seattle is the 1 seed, could absolutely lose a game. I think anybody in this year's playoffs can get upset. So I don't think you don't try for it at all. But I guess it depends on the circumstances of it.
Yeah.
I thought about that during the game. I don't know how they'll approach this Bills game, but it's a good litmus test to see where they're at. Like, okay, you've had good success on offense against 2 really bad football teams. Here's a Super Bowl contender on the road. Can you replicate that? So I almost kind of hope they have something to play for because I want to see how they measure up against the Bills right now.
Right. Yeah, because after the last 2 games, we didn't get what we would deem as reliable data.
Yeah, right. Week 18
it's a step in the right direction, but you can't.
Tanner McKee, Tank Bigsby, and Shipley are going to be Week 18. So.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and you're going to see every backup lineman as well. I mean, we're just going to see like you said, Harry. It's going to be a preseason game.
Yeah,
we
got a text here before the show started from Louis saying that Tyler Steen is now his favorite Eagle. I got to get into that at some point.
All right.
I mean, he's got 10 Commanders all over him. He's just throwing fists at the end of the game, just getting mugged. It's phenomenal. I love it.
Well, let's take our first break, and we'll come back and let Louis explain his now love affair with Tyler,
the right guard.
Steen. Yeah, well, of all positions.
Yeah.
Louis can identify with Tyler Steen. We'll take the break. We'll come back. It is the Locked On Eagles squad show as they wrap up an NFC East title once again with a win over the Washington Commanders. Back after this. All right, let me tell you about Aura. Aura Frames. What are Aura Frames? Well, Aura Frames, and this is where gift giving comes in because it is that time of year. Holidays are officially here. We're less than a week away, which means gift hunting season. It's still on. And if you want something meaningful, personal, and guaranteed to get a reaction, Aura Frames has got the gift that delivers every time. It's not just something you wrap. It's a way to share memories. Now, Aura isn't your average picture frame. You can preload the frame with photos before gifting it. So when they plug it in, the memories are already on the frame, and they can add to it. No apps to figure out, no setup headaches, just instant smiles with Aura Frames. Grandparents, parents, newlyweds, anyone who loves photos and anywhere in the house. Endless uploads of pictures. How about 30-second videos through the Aura app as well? And you can add a personalized message right inside the frame so the gift feels even more meaningful and thoughtful the moment it's open. Packaging comes gift ready, no price tag, no wrapping needed, which is a big deal and a huge win. It's holiday gift that actually gets used and not forgotten in a drawer. So for a limited time, you can save on the perfect gift by visiting auraframes.com, A-U-R-A frames.com, and you'll get $35 off Aura's best-selling Carver mat frames, named #1 by Wirecutter by using promo code Locked On. Just do that at checkout. That's A-U-R-A frames.com and use the promo code Locked On. This deal is exclusive to listeners and frames. They sell out fast. So order yours now and get it in time for the holidays. Support the show and mention the Locked On Eagle Squad show at checkout and make sure you use that promo code Locked On to get the good deal of the $35 off. Terms and conditions do apply. All righty. Tyler Steen. Do we have a I'm trying to look for the shrine behind Louis next to the Keely Ringo shrine.
I think it was somewhat tongue-in-cheek, but I thought it was funny.
Oh, yeah. I love, I grew up, and Jason, you'll appreciate this. Like, hockey was my first love. That was my first sport. And I love
right?
Rock'em Sock'em, Don Cher, watching the 90s brawls with the goalies. I like the most man thing about me is I love fights. I think that is the most like
Rob
macho.
Ray.
Yeah, Rob Ray taking
Barnaby.
off the jersey before the fight even. I grew up in Buffalo, New York, so Sabres had a lot of goons and the Flyers did too. So just seeing in football, you don't get that a lot. Seeing a brawl like that with division rivals and Tyler Steen just getting mugged by 10 players. I don't know where all his teammates were, but that fight, Big Dom's at midfield. I don't know. That was a lot of fun. You don't get to see that in sports as much, even in hockey.
It's scar tissue and a little bit of storyline.
Yeah, I love it. It's fun.
Sports are always better when you got storyline.
Yeah,
when you have and now they play each other in 2 weeks again, right?
I like when they hate each other a little bit. Everybody's buddy now.
I know. So do I. I'm with you.
Division rivals, I love it. Throwing your fists at a mask always seems counterintuitive to me, counterproductive. But
punching a helmet
that never made sense. Yeah, or like a visor in hockey. That seems stupid to me, but I love the idea of it.
Yeah, the thing is, you love when the games mean something and you have like a calling card. It's a shame that this last game against the Commanders won't have that.
Mm-hmm.
But when two teams dislike each other and are playing for something weekend in close proximity like this, like every other game, the Eagles and Commanders, that's a lot of fun because there's storyline, but that's going to be robbed of us because the Commanders suck.
Yeah, last year's run, definitely a mirage, I guess you could say. I think that's another
reason.
It's a lot
of injuries, too.
Yeah.
They've been crushed with injuries.
I was looking at what Washington, thinking about it during the game, like where they're at this year compared to last season. And I think that's also like a testament to the Eagles and their ability to sustain success. Like, has this year been perfect? No, but it's like Jason said, it's very, very hard to be a consistent winner in the NFL. And for them to make the playoffs in 8 of the last 9 years, like they've never done that in franchise history. So, again, it's something to be said for that, even with the ups and downs of this season. There's a reason this division hasn't been won back-to-back by the same team in over 20 years. So I think that's something crazy. They should be able to hang their hat on, that they've fought through that adversity and didn't let it kill their season like a couple years ago. So.
Now, we got a comment here at the bottom here about Steen. At BL, see this?
Oh, straight ball to Steen.
Ejection will finally start the conversation of how awful he's been.
I think he's been good the last 2 weeks, actually, but last week was his best performance of the year from a run blocking perspective. So
Yeah.
Tyler Steen, I mean, he's the new guy on the block, so he's
Right.
kind of gotten the. I think the issue has been more the guys on the left side of the line.
I agree. Boy, my Lotta got thrown around a bunch today.
Yeah, that's a little
Continues to be
alarming.
up and down. Yeah.
So I
It's
just
been a
don't get
weird
it.
year for him, and he's the one that's been healthy. So kind of a strange year.
Apparently.
Yeah,
I
maybe
saw-
not. Yeah.
Yeah, he's the one that's played all the games, but I don't know if he's healthy or
point.
not.
I saw Landon Dickerson whiff on a couple of blocks too today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's strange.
They still, you think they're about to take over something. Like, obviously, Saquon had 132 yards, and they had some incredible blocking plays. But it's still, you think they're about to figure it all out, and then it's a stupid penalty, or they have a couple plays where Saquon's getting hit in the backfield.
Yeah.
That happened again today where Javon Kinlaw's just untouched before Saquon even gets the ball, and it's like, where is this inconsistency coming from now suddenly? Is it a scheme thing? Is it they're just too banged up right now? It's weird and very unlike this unit. So
Yeah, and on Saquon's big run, they had somebody was in the backfield. He had to do that jump cut spin thing
Yeah,
to avoid him,
right.
and didn't get touched, and then went for a long run. But that
he's
he
been out
could
of
have
sync
been-
all year. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah, you're right. It looks like it's right there about to click, and then
Yeah.
it just never clicks. Last
It's kind of
year,
the story of the whole team, right? In a way.
well, I mean, everything starts up front too, right?
Right.
So, I mean, you see it and you go, can it possibly all start to click in the playoffs? I suppose.
Get Lane Johnson back.
Well, that'll be a big part. That's a big click.
Yeah. Fred
That's not
Johnson had a couple
clickbait, Harry.
bad
Yeah,
holds today. So
Yeah, because then you can put Fred Johnson in his rightful spot as the sixth offensive lineman in the heavy jumbo package.
Yeah.
Right.
You know?
yeah, the
Which
more
I
you play
like.
under center, the more you're going to use that. So
Right.
Yeah.
I counted about 8 plays by the play sheet on NFL.com where they were under center.
Yeah, the shotgun was working today. I
Yeah.
think again, them going empty was something they wanted to lean into. So with the way they were throwing the football, I still want them to be mostly an under center offense moving forward. But it was good to see they kind of found something with the shotgun offense today because it's been bad all year. So that was, I think, actually encouraging.
Yeah, last week they were under center 9 times, and today I think you're right. I think it was 8 times, Harry.
Yeah.
And I mean, is this something that they could get into the playoffs and all of a sudden move that 8 or 9 number to 15 to 17?
That's what I would
And-
prefer. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and then you look at it and you go, well, they've been kind of holding back on this all year. Maybe it catches somebody off guard in a way, and they've been effective, under center. But I don't know where the preference lies in them being in shotgun as often as they are.
I think the
I don't
quarterback
know.
likes it.
The quarterback likes it, and again, his ability to run, his threat to run is something they like, and you only get that from the shotgun. The problem
because
is
he can survey better.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The problem this year has been you haven't been using him as a design runner much. He hasn't
Right.
been running the football as effectively. So hand in hand, the shotgun offense hasn't been working much. So if you're not going to do that, that's why I've been calling for him to go under center more. But if he's going to run the football the way he has the last 2 weeks, you can have it both. You'll be able to balance it out more.
He had
So-
7 carries today.
Yeah,
I
it's
think.
all about Jalen's rushing with that. In my opinion, what formation they want to run as the focal point.
I think you see him more willing to run the ball in the playoffs, knowing that
Yeah.
it's win or go
Yeah.
home.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
He already has been, I think, the last 2 weeks. He hasn't been shying
Yeah.
away from contact as much, which he was doing the
Huge
majority
first
of
down
the
run up the right side today
Huge.
too.
There was a couple plays today where the the Commanders were in coverage, and he just decided to pull it down because he saw, like, I can get to the sticks. There's nobody on this whole side of the field.
Yeah.
They're in man coverage or whatever. In no way they're going to be able to get to me. And he got to the sideline before being touched and gets the easy first down. So I think we'll see a lot more of that in January.
Yeah, I like
I
that there
agree.
was a couple times where most of the time this year, I feel like he's run at the last second out of necessity. There's just nobody open. I have to do this and pick up a
It's
couple
almost
yards.
too late though, right?
Too late.
Yeah.
And then Jalen is, I don't want to say his speed. I think he's lost a little bit of his speed. He's never been a super fast
It's not a
No.
breakaway runner.
No, he's a north-south runner, right? So at that point, he's not going to beat anybody to the edge.
He's
when
not
they-
Mike Vick. in his
No,
prime.
he's not. He's not Lamar Jackson.
yeah.
He's not those guys.
Yeah.
But what I liked today was he was more decisive. He would go through a read or two. He's like, oh, I found an opening here running upfield. I'm taking it.
Right,
I'm going to take these 8 to 10 yards. And you don't want to do that every play, but I just like that he was more decisive with it.
Those are backbreakers to a defense, too.
Yeah,
they really are, because you think, man,
crazy.
We got this play covered. Our back,
yeah, everyone's back is turned,
and
then you turn around and Jalen's 10 yards down the field. It's demoralizing.
But we've got it all covered up, man. We did great coverage, and then
everybody did their job.
He runs for 8-9 yards. It's a killer.
It's a killer. That's why he's got to be able to do it.
And when he does it, it's like, oh no, now we got to break everything, and we did such a good job. Now we got to deal with this, and you're trailing it.
Mm-hmm.
It's an underrated part of why the offense has been so inconsistent this year. Like we've focused on probably the right things about play calling and the offensive line issues, the injuries, all of that. Jalen's inconsistency as a passer, but you see how different. Like this is why you want Jalen Hurts as your quarterback, is because when he can do that, it changes everything. I think that's the reason things opened up for Saquon. I think that was part of why the passing game was so much better today. So him running the football, like that's his superpower. And if he's not going to do that, I don't know why he's your quarterback, right?
Yeah.
So
it's also one of those things that Josh Allen does so well. Like that's
exactly.
a big element of the the problems that he brings to a defense.
Yeah, it just, and I think the frustration factor is huge with that. I think you're dead right. What do we think of the allocation in the passing game today? I loved it.
11 targets for AJ in the first half.
Yeah,
he dominated.
I
love the way they used him too. Like they were putting him in the slot more, reduced sets where he's playing closer to the line of scrimmage. I love that because I don't like limiting him when you put him right out to the sideline. He can only go one way. I like giving him the choice option routes. They use him over the middle. They got him as like a run after the catch weapon more today. This was not a game where like they just force fed him just to get him to shut up. They clearly had a game plan for AJ Brown with those targets, and it was
he had a bunch of run after the catches today too. Where, it wasn't just that usual hitch route stuff where it's sort of like where he catches it is where he gets tackled kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's what he did in Tennessee so well, right?
Yeah.
And they don't use that enough here.
And when you get him and you hit him in the middle of the field in stride, you're going to get that. It's like it's about time, like they're unleashing this finally properly. And Devontae gets 6 catches for 42 on 8 targets. Goddard's got the 3 and a touchdown.
Even Dotson had 3 catches and had a couple big ones in the second half.
Yeah.
Every time they call his number, he catches the ball.
Should have had a touchdown.
Should have.
Yeah.
He was targeted 3 times and made 3 catches. Same thing for Goddard. When
That's what he does.
Short-handed. Yep. And big Will Shipley with a catch as well. Saquon did not have any receptions.
I don't understand the Shipley stuff. I scratched my head. There was a 3rd and 10, and they threw it to Shipley. I'm like, what? What was that? First of all, he fumbles the kickoff to start the game.
Yep.
I mean,
well, and then the other kick return where he's like stumbling out of the end zone. I think he wanted to stay, and he falls forward.
Bad decision to bring it
now
out.
I got to go run it.
Got it out to the 19, I think.
Terrible Will Shipley day. Special teams was if we got to go negative here, special teams was an absolute disaster.
Yeah.
Obviously, Jake Elliott's the elephant in the room, but the return game was a mess. They really put them in a hole today with that unit.
Yeah.
Is Reno Mahe still working at Chickies and Pete's, Harry? Can we bring him in for a couple of weeks?
I don't know. You might need a new kicker.
It's bad.
I
think they're going to stick with him, but
I think
they need a new kicker.
I think he's going to be the guy. They're not going to bring anybody else in, but next year this is going to have to be something you're really seriously going to have to look at.
The problem is they would have to eat over $10 million in dead cap if they move on.
Kicker.
Is that right?
Yeah, they kind of did themselves in with his contract.
Oh my God.
I was looking at it after the 3rd kick. I'm like, that's it. He's got to go.
Text that to Mike. He missed it. They may have to eat $10 million in dead money for a kicker.
Jake Elliott.
He's had 5 misses in 5 games, 6 misses if you include the one that didn't count.
Right.
Misses from 56,
and he was
52,
good in the beginning of the year.
48, 43, 52. And with the way kickers are so automatic this year, it's just inexcusable.
Yeah, they signed him to a 4-year, $24 million contract, apparently.
Yeah.
Let's see.
And there'd be $10 million of dead money.
He's made $28 million in his career. There's an out after this year. After 2026, there's an out.
But there's a dead money.
After 2026.
Yeah.
$6.4 million in dead money if you get out of it after 2026 or in 2026.
Wow.
Yeah, what a deal.
Wow.
He's going to be, at this point in the season, he's going to be the guy.
Yeah.
I mean, he was, like you said, Jason, he was great earlier in the year, and he was great last year, so I get why they doubled down on him, but...
Yeah, but when you start shanking in golf, it doesn't just fix itself in...
He's hooking
7 days. Yeah, like
it was the left hook every time. He missed the same kick 3 times in a row.
He needs to start hitting a fade. Forget the draw.
Yeah. Stop pulling that club out of your bag.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
He's
not
got to hit the
working.
golf simulator this week.
Yeah.
Maybe that'll help him.
But you got to wonder if he goes into the playoffs still shaky. Like, how much is that going to affect play calling?
It's a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like we had this issue with him at the end of last year, though, too, right?
Yes.
It was a problem last year. So maybe he gets out of the funk. I mean, kickers have funks, but this one's been, I think, even more alarming than last year. So the weather's not going to get better,
And look, the margin for error is not as
right.
is less than it was last year too. Like they can't afford to miss.
Right, they need
anything.
Points more this year.
Right.
Yeah, that's a great.
They're not
point.
as prolific offensively.
He missed a 43-yarder.
He did.
Yeah, in the NFL today, that's like got to be automatic. That's like
guys are hitting 68-yarders.
Yeah.
Like it's not, and that could have went from 75. I mean,
that is a concern. It's when you get it into the playoffs, and this team doesn't have the ability it had last year to just, totally take a team out of it with that third quarter drive of 12 minutes and 15 seconds.
They had a big one today.
Although they did have a 10-minute
a
drive
big one
today. Yeah,
they had a big one
quarter.
this week, and they had a big one last week with the backups.
Yeah, with the backups of all people, right?
Yeah, last week the backups were on for like an 11-play, 12-play drive, whatever it was.
Yeah, well, that does make me very nervous this year. Dealing
because they're not going to get a new kicker. I mean,
no.
They're going to stick. I think Sirianni's going to stick.
We get
with
Dr.
him.
Phil in there to figure out what's wrong with his head. Is
that why you think they ran the 2-point conversion? There's no other reason to run a 2-point conversion when you were up 28 to whatever 10 at the point, or 27-10.
Yeah, and then the other fourth down they went for after you were talking about the Shipley play on 3rd and 10. It felt like, I think it's stupid logic.
They didn't want him to miss again.
Yeah, I think they were trying to set up an easier fourth down by giving Shipley the ball there. I think, again, a terrible decision, but they weren't going to give him a chance to kick that one either.
That was a 4th and 7 you're talking about after the Shipley play
at
the Washington 38, and they called a bogus penalty on the Commanders. There was no penalty. I don't know what they were looking at.
Yeah, it was on Goddard, right? The field goal you're talking about.
No, this was on 4th and 7 when they went for it.
Right.
They went for it. Okay. Bad penalty. There was no penalty. That was a bad call.
I'm thinking of the penalty. So he, on his second miss, there was another penalty where he got another opportunity at the end of the half. And he hooked that one left, too.
That was a bogus one, too. They called offsides.
They had some bad penalties.
Nobody was in the neutral zone.
The tush-push offsides, the second one, too, they said Landon Dickerson went early. I didn't agree with that.
I don't think he did.
I don't like to be the ref guy, but it was a pretty bad day from the stretch.
Uneven.
You didn't think Dickerson moved a little bit earlier?
I don't know.
It was a microsecond.
It was so close.
I think if you're going to call that one, a guy is probably offsides every play.
Yeah, like how do you see that in real
I don't believe
time?
the ref saw. I think he was throwing the flag no matter what. I think it was predetermined.
He was assuming and hoping that maybe he was just getting a little bit of a jump because
also, by the way, with
was
the
a
tush push real
microsecond.
quick, I bet you the NFL has no issues with getting rid of the play this year since the Eagles aren't good at it anymore. There's going to be no problem.
It's not the advantage that it was.
I saw Pittsburgh.
Are we still concerned about the safety of it? I mean, am I going to hear that from Sean McDermott again? Probably not.
Yeah. I saw Pittsburgh run it last week and actually looked. They did a really nice job with it.
Yeah,
they did it effectively.
Yeah.
Well, the Eagles, it's almost like teams have figured it out. Like Jalen was getting no push.
It's so weird because it worked earlier this year. Like they almost have the yips now when they get it. They're hesitant when they run this play. I think they just need to.
I think they were jumping, and it was never being called, and now that's being monitored much closer. So they're not getting the initial advantage of jumping a little early.
But now they just they don't even try it anymore.
No.
Yeah.
And it just never works now. How did a play go? Is that the only thing that turned it from a 99% conversion rate to a 67?
60-some% now. Yeah.
I mean,
that's crazy.
It's insane.
It is.
Yeah, that has really been ineffective, and again, it's going to affect their play calling going forward. We'll see how much stones Sirianni has in the playoffs if he's in that situation with the tush push.
But you can't rely on the kicker instead, though.
No.
So you kind of have to.
Dude, I in a weird way, I think Sirianni secretly loves the fact that Jake Elliott's missing some kicks, so he can go for more fourth down.
He can justify it more besides the analytics. Absolutely. Yeah, when it comes to playoff time with Sirianni, they bring his stones in on a dump truck.
On a wheelbarrow. Yeah.
But that's why the tush push has got to get going because Jake Elliott's not going to get better. So you need to be able to convert those fourth downs.
Yeah.
That's kind of a tricky situation between the two things.
let's take our second break, and we'll talk about Jalen Hurts numbers and a little projection when it comes to Jalen Hurts as well. As the Eagles win the NFC East, it is the Eagles Squad Show on the Locked On Eagles Podcast Network.
Today's episode of the Locked On Eagles Squad Show is brought to you by FanDuel. NFL Sundays move fast, one big play, and suddenly everything feels different. That's what makes live betting with FanDuel so exciting. You're not just watching the game, you're reacting to it in real time. With FanDuel, you can place live bets as the action unfolds. Every drive, every momentum swing, every highlight moment. Live betting is best when the game starts to shift. A receiver gets hot like A.J. Brown today, a defense tightens up, or the momentum flips after a turnover. We saw that today a lot in Eagles Commanders. FanDuel lets you jump into the moment. Live spreads and money lines adjust instantly. Player props update as a guy heats up. Hit a 2-leg parlay today between Saquon Barkley and Tank Bigsby. You can bet next touchdown scores, drive results, totals, and more. It keeps you locked into every snap, every drive, every possibility. So if you want to be right in the middle of the action this season, visit FanDuel.com and place your NFL live bets all season long. FanDuel, the game moves fast, and so can you.
Alrighty, we are
scoreless. Still,
Yeah.
The Packers drove it deep into Bears territory. They got down to the 7-yard line and had a 4th and 1 and didn't get it. So they chose not to kick.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Gutsy move by LaFleur.
Yeah.
Go Packers,
They're
right?
not putting points on the
Cheering
board. It's
for-
in Green Bay, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd have
Wow.
to pull for the Packers because the
'Cause you have-
Bears
you
on
have
the
to bet on them.
the Bears beat them.
Yeah.
Because
Because if the
beat
Packers,
the Eagles.
if the Bears win, they're 11-4, and at that point,
I don't. Think
you would
you're
need them to
catching
lose
them.
both games,
Yeah.
Yeah, who do
and
they
you'd have to win both to get the 2 seed.
Yeah.
So Chicago after this week,
I feel like they have a tough
Chicago
schedule,
has-
no?
They have.
they
I got
have
it right. They
San
got
Francisco and Detroit.
on the road and Detroit.
Yeah,
at home.
so I mean, it's possible they could lose out.
They could.
So I
Probably
do
not
think the
likely,
Eagles
though.
will have a lot to play for next week. I mean, depending on the outcome of this game, we'll see.
Yeah, if the Packers win, then the Eagles.
Well,
have
I
to-
hope for your sake that they play the starters, Louis.
Yeah,
I don't
that's-
want
how
you to
boring
go up
would
there and
that be?
see the backups.
Yeah, that's true.
You know?
Put
You're
your
gonna have
ti-
to
put
sit
your
out
tickets
there
on
in
the game
cold.
time app.
That's all right, though. I mean, I like going to preseason games. I'll evaluate the second and third team for.
It's gonna be
watch-
freezing.
Tanner
You wanna-
McKee can up his trade value. I'll be in a suite. I'll be okay.
Oh, you're the sweet.
I got a hookup.
Oh, listen
Yeah.
to this.
My brother
got the
works for the Bills
locked-on
radio
sucker?
network, so I'll be indoors. Luckily,
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
so I'll be
Oh,
all
that's
right.
an outrage. You should have to be out there with.
I wouldn't be
Tanner
going to
Williams
this game
Club.
if not.
No.
Do we have an early forecast for Buffalo for the game?
I'm not sure yet, but it's
7-day out.
the weather's been pretty brutal lately. So
Yeah, what's it like up there, Louis?
it
this
is a
time?
tundra right now. It is.
Harry,
is.
if the doctor
freezing
gives you a
cold.
week to live, you move to Buffalo. It'll feel like an eternity.
Right, right.
It's not a paradise up here, that's for sure.
Wow.
Oh. Well,
Let me-
we'll have to get the on the midweek show. We'll get a more accurate forecast from Louis. But to
Hey,
find
worst
out
case, Tanner McKee can up his trade value in that game, so there'll be
Right.
something to watch.
Well, I mean, according to some radio hosts, you shouldn't trade him because he should be starting. You
Yeah,
should be
that
trading
can we
the other guy.
revisit those terrible takes a couple weeks ago?
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh my goodness!
How about
yeah.
that?
So let's talk about Hurts. Has
Yeah.
he quieted the critics? Because I
Well,
mean,
for
he's done it
now.
against 2 bad teams,
Yeah.
as we know. But again, you can't change who you play on the schedule, and it's been an erratic season to say the least for him.
Yeah.
Certainly not his most consistent performance, and the team hasn't been consistent either. But what has he done the past 2 weeks when it comes to your concern level, Louis, with
Yeah.
Jalen Hurts come playoff time?
I still have long-term questions about him, right? I mean, when he's 30 plus years old and his mobility decreases, if he doesn't evolve his game as a pocket passer, which has been a huge reason he's been so up and down this year, throwing over the middle of the field, being faster with progressions, I wonder how he'll age. Like, will he age like a Russell Wilson or a Cam Newton, or can he play late into his 30s? That's something I do want a new play caller at some point to be able to get him to another level of his game as a pocket passer. But for right now, to see the way he's played the last 2 games, yeah, I think it calmed down people's nerves where people were questioning if he should be starting the rest of the year. I mean, yeah, it's the Commanders
was
and
crazy,
Raiders.
yeah.
But to get through that stretch, which might have been the toughest stretch of his career, that 3-game, not even just the 3-game losing streak, but he wasn't great against Green Bay. He wasn't great against Detroit. Like, that was a really bad 5-game stretch for him. To see him fight through that and not completely crumble like a Carson Wentz would, and go back-to-back games where you had a 73% completion percentage today, 80% against the Raiders, 5 passing touchdowns to no picks in these last 2 games, 185 and 175 through the air. He's been decisive as a runner. I don't know, like that proves to me why you stick with Jalen Hurts still for the next few years, until he's 30, because that ability to overcome adversity is one of his superpowers. And I think that's something you need in a franchise quarterback, especially in this market. It is, again, the minute a Super Bowl MVP quarterback had a bad stretch, we're calling for the backup. So I don't know. I think that's impressive.
Does that happen in Buffalo?
No, they idolize Josh Allen up
Josh
here.
Allen.
I mean, this man could do no
Josh
wrong.
Allen. When Tyrod Taylor was there, I imagine they were
perfect for that place.
Of course, yeah. But I don't know. I think Jalen has earned more leeway, a bigger leash than maybe he's gotten this year, even though he's been bad a lot of the times. I don't know. I think to see him fight through that is impressive. So obviously, I'm still not sold he's just going to go on this absolute tear through the playoffs. I think there will still be downs and inconsistencies in his game. But I'm believing he'll still be able to give us a chance when the games matter most. So
I do agree with you too. I think does he have a half a step to lose when he ages? And
it's a big question.
He make? Yeah, I mean, you see it in all sports. When a guy loses to half a step, some guys can afford to lose it because they think the game differently, and they find a way to either be in the right place or make the read because that part of their game matures and it mitigates the lost half step. Will that be the case with him? It's a conversation for another day, but it's a real conversation.
And I think that's like his bad level of play through that 5-game stretch brought up a lot of those question marks for me. And I was starting to wonder, is the Sirianni-Hurts relationship right for Jalen for the future? Because he's going to continue to have new play callers, right? No matter what. Patullo, if he stays and does well, is going to get a head coaching job eventually, or he's going to be replaced. And so it did pose long-term questions, but I never thought during this season they should bench him. I always thought that was dramatic, and if you did that, you would not be able to go back to him. And I think that would have been a very rash. He would have been gone after this.
Yeah, you would have to trade him.
So that would have been way too much of a rash emotional decision. And I'm glad they let him fight through it because he has such a good track record of when he struggles and is counted out of bouncing back. I mean, you got to give this guy a chance. Yeah. Ever since he was at Bama. So he did it again. And I think it was the Raiders and Commanders, but I think that's very impressive.
Well, he's going to have a new play caller again next year. I don't think
it might be Nick Sirianni, Harry.
You think? I don't know.
Well, I mean, have they done a better job because Nick Sirianni's now in that mix a little bit?
They've looked a lot better since the report was his hands have been more on it. Like I think that's it's hard to know because we don't know what goes on behind closed doors. So I don't love to fully judge, but that's the one thing we heard changed, and they've looked a lot better. So obviously the opponents have changed too. But the props to Sirianni.
That'll be one thing that next week will tell us if they play all their guys. They're going up against – that's a good measuring stick game.
That's why I want the Packers to win this game. I want that game to be important for them.
Yeah, to see if these changes can be demonstrated against a good team.
Yeah,
even though I don't think Buffalo's defense is all that good.
It's not great, but it's a lot better. Sean McDermott's a great play caller on defense and game planner, so it'll definitely be a big step up from what we had today and last Sunday for sure.
So are they back? Do we still have aspirations of the Super Bowl? Like, did those fade for you? Like with those, even the wins over Green Bay and Detroit, when Harry proclaimed it properly that the identity of the team was the defense, and it still is. But the performances and the 3 losses, and I was just going, this is not going to be a Super Bowl team.
Yeah,
it's just not going to be. And that's okay. You won it last year, and that is what it is. It's hard to repeat in the NFL for a reason, and very few teams do it. But are they back?
It is.
It is back in play?
No, it is very hard to repeat. But I think if they don't make the NFC Championship game this season's a disappointment.
I agree with that.
I mean, just to make the championship game.
Interesting, yeah. I actually talked about this on the show on Friday. Like, what do you deem as a successful season?
Yeah.
And I would agree, like, if it has to be based on a result, they have to at least get one playoff win for me. Mm-hmm. I would hope they can at least get to the NFC title. But I actually think it's less about the result for me, and it's more in the playoffs, do I believe this team is on the same tier as everybody else that's competing for a championship? Do I feel like it's 2018 and they tripped into the second round based on circumstance? They took advantage of a weaker opponent and a weaker schedule down the stretch. I just want to believe in the playoffs, regardless of the result, that they had as good of a chance as anybody, and that they're not far off next year if they don't win it this season. So
But they don't get a win over a team that just got to the playoffs and has to
right,
learn
like
how to
maybe
win
they
in the
lose a
playoffs.
really close game in the divisional round against a good Rams or Seahawks team, and I'm like, okay, I can live with that. The result, I'm with you that I would hope it's at least the NFC title, but I don't think I'm like hell bent on it. It's about the result for me to believe this was a success. I just want to know that they're still right there with everybody. Because like you said, it's so hard. I mean, how many teams have repeated in the history of this league? I can count them probably on one hand, right? I mean, so it's more about the process to me than the result.
I mean, it's Denver.
Yeah.
In modern NFL, the
Denver
Broncos
in the 90s,
did it.
right? Yeah.
Yep. And then
New England and
obviously
Kansas
New
City.
England and
So in my
Kansas City.
lifetime, it's only happened 3 times.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know about way back. And I'm not
Well, I
going
mean,
to
Before that, it was Dallas did it,
in the early
Pittsburgh did
90s.
it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
San
What,
Fran
93,
probably?
94?
Yeah.
So probably like 6, 7 teams all time have done it.
Yeah. I
It's
mean,
not
you're talking
easy.
about a long, long time.
Yeah,
Green
that
Bay
was
did it to
back
start.
In the back in the
Yeah.
60s
The
and
first
70s.
two. Yeah.
Now we're
Yeah.
talking. So yeah,
Yeah.
It was Lombardi versus Hank Schramm. Harry.
yeah.
Correct.
Did Greasy Neal didn't do it back-to-back years, Harry?
No,
In
Lombardi,
48 and 49?
Well, hey, that's championships.
Yeah, that was championship
That's
back in 48 and 49.
It's got to count.
I can't believe I just had that poll, by the
Yeah.
way. Mr. NFL.
Impressive.
Yeah, Mr.
Yeah,
NFL is
Good
right.
Historian.
That
Yeah.
was a long. That's in the Wayback Machine.
Ray Didinger stopped on the show for a second.
Jeez,
Yeah, or
exactly.
did he? Well, Ray knows everything about
Who's
every
the
one of
Ray
those.
Didinger of hockey?
Bill Meltzer, of Flyers hockey.
Oh, Flyers hockey? Okay.
Yeah, it was Jay Greenberg before he passed,
Okay.
and then it's Bill Meltzer, who
Okay.
appears on Mondays with Meltzer on the Flyers Daily podcast every
Nice.
Monday. We'll be taping with him tomorrow.
All right. That's enough. That's enough hockey.
But you have one of those like guys that's not only a guy that writes about a team, but it's also a historian of the team.
Yeah.
And that's what Ray is. And that's why he's great. But successful season. I know there's like a portion of the fan base, the Neanderthals say there's only one successful season. That's if you win a championship.
Yeah, I don't subscribe to that.
Yeah, that's a little ridiculous.
Yeah, that is.
Who would be the preference to play in that first round?
Yeah, like what's the ideal path? I mean,
Right now,
I
San
think it's-
Francisco.
Would you
Is that
rather play San Francisco or
that's ideal?
Chicago? I would rather play Chicago. Give me
I
Chicago.
didn't say it's
again.
ideal, but I'm saying like right now it would
Right now
be
it'd be
San
San
Francisco.
That's the most likely.
Yeah, yeah.
The most ideal, I would still vote is Chicago. I know they beat the Eagles, but they did
Going to
everything to let
Chicago.
you win that game.
Yeah.
Well,
And-
if they're this, they could drop to the 6. If they lose this game and they're down 3-0 right now, if they lose to Green Bay and
They
they
have a
don't
head-to-head
win
on
the
the
North,
Eagles.
yeah.
Yeah.
Does that matter?
Well, no, because the Eagles would
There's
win the
division
division.
champ.
No, if you
Yeah.
win the
So-
division, you get the
So
home
Green Bay,
playoff.
Chicago doesn't win the division. They'd have to come back to Philly. I would still take that, even though they lost, over San Fran, LA, Seattle. I mean, you don't want to play those teams in the first round.
No.
Yeah.
So
I guess
that'd be my vote.
That's a little scary when I think back of that Chicago game with 200-yard rushers against them.
Yeah. But I
That's
just
the
think the
part.
Bears, though, they ran the ball so
Quarterback's
well.
a gamer.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
But
they're
he's a
so
little messy.
inconsistent. I mean,
He's
they
a-
kept you. They were playing pretty brutal all
He's-
game long too. I mean, you had a chance to win
Yeah.
at the end.
He's a
and you were
gamer,
terrible.
but he's not accurate.
No.
Yeah, he's
he
a bit
completed like
messy.
50% of his balls in that game.
Yeah.
And the Eagles' defense is so much better now from a run defense perspective than they were in that game.
Yeah.
So I would like a repeat against Chicago.
We'll learn a lot about Chicago with this game tonight.
Yeah.
And then at San Francisco and at home in Week 18 against Detroit.
Green Bay's
a
up
brutal
3-0
stretch.
right now.
Yeah.
Oh, they are? Okay.
Yeah, with the ball. Fred Warner might be able to make it back for the playoffs, is what I'm seeing for San Francisco.
I'd like to avoid the NFC West in round one. If
That
I
would
can.
be incredible. 'Cause
San
he
Fran
dis-
can
he
still be the one
dislocated
seed
his
if they
ankle.
win out.
Yeah, they
can win-
could.
They can win the division.
They could.
Who's
Right.
the San Fran? Let me look and see who
San
San
Fran?
Fran has left.
They play Seattle, I know, again still.
Well, we
Well,
know
they-
we
They
we
got
know
the
play.
Bears.
Yeah, and they got the
They
Bears.
got the Bears.
So they
And
don't
this
have
week,
it easy
this week
either.
they play the Colts against
That's
Old
right,
Man
they've got
Rivers.
Rivers.
Yes.
Old
So they
Man-
got
yeah,
one more
at
win in
Indy,
their
though.
pocket at least.
Yeah, at Indy. Yeah.
Yeah, that's on. Is that Monday night? That's Monday Night Football.
It's Monday Night Football, yeah.
They're on a short week for the Bears too,
Yep.
and then Seattle to close it out. Boy, there's a lot to be determined.
There is. There is.
There really is a lot.
Yeah, all those teams play each other, so seeding wise,
Yeah.
it feels like really only I don't want to say the 3 and 4 are locked in either, though, because the Eagles could still get the 2 seed.
They could.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
They'd have to beat the Bills.
Yeah, nothing's clinched in this. It's the craziest year where it's so late in the year and we finally have one team that clinched a division in this conference. I don't remember another time where it's been like this.
Yeah,
where
and the
nobody has
NFC is
spots.
clearly much more deeper and better.
Whoever
than
gets
the
through
AFC.
that conference, props to you. You went through a gauntlet because top to bottom, the conference is so much better.
Yeah, and I tell you, if the Bills don't get to the Super Bowl this year, I don't know.
The football gods have paved the way for Josh Allen. I mean, his path might be Trevor Lawrence, C.J. Stroud, and Bo Nix. To get
Although
to the
that
Super Bowl.
defense for the Texans is real.
I actually think the 2 best teams in the AFC are wild card teams right now. Buffalo and Houston. I think if I had to put money on one of a team,
and then who? Denver.
You're overlooking Denver. Ooh.
Yeah, I still don't believe in Bo Nix in the playoffs. But no.
Come on,
not that Stroud is much better, but I would take Houston.
Well,
over
both
Denver.
teams' defenses are just so darn
It's unbelievable.
good.
2 of the top 5 defenses in football.
Yeah.
You're not going anywhere without a good defense. Like today, the NFL is like reverting back to defense being the huge thing.
Well, I mean, you look at these college teams too. I watched two teams today, Miami and Texas A&M. Really good defense. Georgia's got a great defense every year. Ohio State's defense is unbelievable. Like you're seeing college football teams playing defense as a team. You never saw that.
They've caught up to the offense for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, the sport moves in circles, and offenses are going to have to adjust now. They can't do the same things
next year.
I think it's going to get more old school. I think you kind of have to. I think receivers are going to start getting bigger again because the windows are tighter. You got to make tougher grabs.
I hope so.
Yeah, like the A.J. Brown style player is going to be really important to have moving forward. Like Kansas City putting out a bunch of Hollywood Browns and Xavier Worthies can't work anymore.
No.
I'm very curious where this league is going the next few years from like a schematic standpoint on offense because the defense is caught up, and I didn't think they would for a while.
And you're seeing tight ends now becoming basically wide receivers that are just 6'5", monster guys that are just
That's why
so
I think
athletic.
Goddard's getting a big deal next year.
Yeah, no doubt. Let's take our last blink of a break. We're back right after this. All right, let's get to a couple of the listener comments here on the program. And Savage PHI says, "Can we just run the damn ball at the 1 yard line? Why do we don't have the right combination on the O line to make the tush push effective? Just give it to Saquon or Tank. Just
how about the Tank?
Yeah, like the Tank in that spot, Harry.
I like
Put
the
both
Tank
in there.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't have gave up 2 draft picks for a backup running back that can't return kicks, but he's been great.
Yeah.
I mean, every time they give him the ball, he's very effective.
Everything's positive. Have we seen him get tackled behind the line of scrimmage?
That's like if you're going to insist on running on 1st and 10 every play, use Bigsby more.
Put 2 backs in the backfield.
He always gets you 4+. It feels like every single play.
Put 2 backs in the backfield.
I like the 2 backs idea. That's a good point. I never thought of that, but that's a good idea. I
just want to hear Merrill say it. Backs in the eye.
Little 22 personnel.
This guy says much better progressions for Hurts. Missed a couple, but played well. He actually did have some progressions today, too, where he's surveying and making the right decision.
Yeah, he saw the field well.
He saw the field, yeah.
And look, with him, like I just don't know what it's going to take in, the second round of the playoffs or an NFC championship game. But having gone through it several times now, I think is just a huge factor. It's such an advantage over some of these other teams.
Mm-hmm.
That's what
especially
I came away
Seattle.
with.
Yeah, or the Bears.
When you guys watched the Thursday night game, I know it was a shootout and those teams played great on offense, but both teams struggled to put the game away and it felt like we're choking a little bit. I still trust this football team in the playoffs with the experience they have over some of these quarterbacks and some of these teams. I don't know. Like, again, you asked if we're back all the way with this football team. I don't want to say all the way like they're the favorite, but yeah, I think they have as good a chance as anybody still.
The reputation puts them right in the conversation, too.
Yeah, I think it has to. And with the way their defense is playing in a defensive-minded league right now, they have as good of a defense as anybody in the league.
Well, yeah, and especially, when you get arguably your best player on offense on the line in Lane Johnson back for the playoffs and Jalen Carter on the defense. And if the quarterback, like we were saying, decides to run the ball a little bit more in the playoffs, that's the extra element.
If this offense can just give you a baseline, a floor, like they've playing the last 2 weeks, I'm not saying they got to blow up like they did in 2024 down the stretch where they score the most points in playoff history in a single run. But if they can just maintain the level of play they're at right now, just a consistent level of ball and stop making these mistakes, I think this defense can carry you. And again, I'm not predicting they'll get to the Super Bowl again, but they have, to me, as good of a chance. I still believe this team can win a title. And leaving the stadium after the Chicago game, I didn't feel that way. So I'm back on board to a degree.
All right. Let's put a wrap on it there. We'll have an Eagle Squad show this week. What do you got coming up this week, Louis?
Another recap of the game. Yep, Monday show dropping. Do a little stock up, stock down report. Move forward with what to look at for the Buffalo game, seeding in the playoffs, the ideal playoff path. So got a lot this week.
All right, so make sure you make Locked On Eagles your first listen every day. Check out the Locked On Network, Locked On NFL as well. And we'll have a midweek show for you to get you ready for Eagles and Buffalo coming up next week.
It's a 4:25 start, Jason.
Yep, 4:25 next week. And we'll have some more info at that time, too, and what the game's meaning will be. Yeah. Because we don't have all that info just yet.
And Louis going to be at the game, so he won't be doing the post game. Maybe he'll check in for a little 30-second.
Yeah, I'll send some
video you
feeds.
sent.
Video last time.
I'll send it back over. Yeah,
that was good.
I got you.
That was good.
Yeah, we liked the video. We
Walking out of the stadium.
So much. We liked it so much, we played it twice. In other words, we were out of things to talk about. So make it a little longer next time. Everybody, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. This has been the Eagles Locked On Squad Show on the Locked On Podcast Network.